Severance is one of those rare shows that hits you on every sensory level. It's part corporate horror, part existential tragedy, and somehow still one of the funniest commentaries on office culture ever made. But beneath the incredible visuals and phenomenal performances, seasons 1 and 2 are wrestling with a storytelling model that's both powerful and dangerous: the mystery box. So in this video we're going to break down why mystery box storytelling hooks us so deeply, and why eventually it never pays off, even for shows as brilliant as Severance. So before I get into my criticisms, I firstly want to acknowledge what a beautiful show Severance is. The cinematography, it's some of the best I've ever seen in film or television. The framing is claustrophobic, and everything visual communicates oppression, conformity, and emotional disconnection. It's not just pretty, it's a psychological design. And above all that, there is the acting. Adam Scott does something damn near impossible. He acts the absence of memory. His innie has the emotional maturity of a sheltered child, whilst his outie is hollowed out by grief. The contrast is devastating. Britt Lower, Zach Cherry, John Turturro and Christopher Walken, every performance is filled with subtlety and ultimately vulnerability. They're not just playing oddballs, they're playing wounded people. And that's why we ultimately care. This isn't a show hurt by execution. In my opinion, it's a show caught in a structural challenge. And before we carry on, if you've got this far, you may as well just subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to put out a lot of videos at the moment, and your support really does help. So what's the issue with mystery box storytelling? Well, the major problem I personally have with this structure is that it gets you addicted, not by giving answers, but by withholding them. It's storytelling that trades in curiosity. And the problem is, audiences create scenarios and endings within their own mind and ultimately become disgruntled when their vision for a story isn't replicated on screen. For a while, mystery box storytelling is extremely effective. Nobody proved that more clearer than J.J. Abrams. Abrams basically evangelized mystery boxes. His philosophy is, the mystery box is more exciting than the answer. And in the short term, that's absolutely true. Look at Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It flooded us with questions. Who are Rey's parents? Why did Luke vanish? Who is Snoke? Why is Finn important? It worked because mystery is thrilling. But then came the problem. Mystery creates emotional IOUs. Someone has to pay them off later. And unfortunately, Abrams never did. And that's where the danger lies. By setting up so many various mysteries, audiences will become invested in various different stories. And while some might have payoff, many others will be left by the wayside. It's the equivalent of throwing excrement at the wall and seeing what sticks. Mystery without eventual meaning collapses, and this is exactly where Severance finds itself now that season 2 has concluded. For me, season 1 operated in a full Force Awakens mode. Everything felt new, the questions are addictive, and you're learning the rules of the world. Season 2 is where the story is supposed to pivot from intrigue to clarity. Instead, it leaves us in this strange limbo. Bigger mysteries, higher stakes, but still very few concrete answers. And that's the risk. When a series keeps stacking questions without resolving enough of them, the structure starts to buckle. Now here's the crucial distinction. Severance by no means is failing, far from it. It is arguably the best show on streaming right now. It's just entering the danger zone for mystery box storytelling. Season 2 was incredible. Visually, it's like the set itself is acting. The show is thematically airtight, but ultimately theme doesn't solve structure. We're not dealing with incompetent writing. We're dealing with an ambitious story model that inherently becomes unstable over time, which has been proven basically time and time again. So why did season 2 start to struggle? Season 2 still gives us atmosphere, dread and fantastic character work, but this is the moment when the mystery box structure, the same thing that made season 1 compelling, starts creating narrative pressure. Remember how The Force Awakens stacked questions expecting later payoff? Severance is now carrying the same weight of expectation. It's been 2 seasons and we are no closer to understanding many aspects of the story. Such thing as the actual goal of the Cold Harbour file, who the mysterious board are, or really what was up with the goats. Are they just there to be sacrificed, and if so, why? These plot points have been vastly left untouched. This means season 3 will have to spend a substantial amount of time effectively tying up loose ends and making good on these plot points. Mystery box storytelling expands the surface area of intrigue, but it also increases the depth of resolution. Season 1 created mystery like a teaser trailer. Season 2 is where the audience needs traction. Not because we're confused, but because tension without direction eventually feels like stagnation. The structure isn't breaking, it's just bending. But here's the hopeful part. Severance can ultimately succeed where Abrams has stumbled. Abrams created mystery but never transitioned into coherent meaning. Severance still has the runway to pivot, it's not too late and it's not collapsing. Season 3 just needs to shift from what's happening to why is it happening. From there, everything snaps into alignment. The side threads connect, the mythology becomes purposeful, and the emotional stakes take precedence. The mystery stops being a tease and becomes revelation. That's the Abrams lesson. Mystery must transform into meaning to stick the landing. And Severance is definitely positioned to do exactly that. So overall, Severance is visually outstanding, brilliantly acted, emotionally rich and thematically loaded. But like all mystery box stories, it reaches the phase where curiosity alone isn't enough. The audience needs resolution, not in the form of trivia, but in the form of emotional clarity. The magic is still there, the potential is enormous, the show hasn't fallen, it's simply standing at the moment where meaning has to emerge. And honestly, if Severance sticks the landing, it won't just be a great show, it'll be one of the best pieces of television storytelling ever made.